Hello, welcome to Working Crass Podcast. That's Lauren.
Hello.
And I'm Joshua. And here's Byron with us along for the ride, huh?
Hey, if you guys don't know me, my name is Byron. Happy to be here on my episode.
This is your first time on Working Crass
my
Podcast?
First time. I'm a Virgo.
Yeah.
You're a Virgo?
Yeah.
Like the zodiac sign.
No, that's Virgo.
That's Virgo.
You might
He's
know
a
your
Virgo.
flags, but you don't know your zodiacs.
Yeah, Lauren.
Learn your fucking constellations.
Take that from first-time guest Byron. This is your first time on the show. You can't talk to the host like that. You're going to build a bad reputation. We're never going to have you back.
You're right. I shouldn't talk to the host like that, but I can talk to your wife that way.
Under Byron rules.
Under Byron rules.
You're right. It does violate podcast rules, but Byron rules says I can shit on your wife.
As much as I can.
Yeah, and wife treatment trumps host etiquette.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He's ruined that word for me. When I hear somebody say this trumps this, I go, yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
You just can't help it.
Well, we're back on the couch. We're on the couch this time.
Yeah.
Because we got a couple comments from somebody who's never commented on any of the episodes before, and then out of nowhere, Flicks VBN
Yeah, I saw that comment.
starts commenting on every episode going, great episode, guys. Get back on the couch. It's like
back.
really fucking aggressive. Doesn't even give a reason why we should be on the couch for the episode. I'm going to assume it's because he jerks off to like one of us. There's something weird about saying get back on the couch every episode.
Is this what you want to see?
Exactly.
Is this what you want to see, man?
It's like I've never heard from you before. And by the way, thanks for checking out the podcast.
Yeah,
we love you.
Thanks
We
for the
really
comment.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And now here we're going to lay into you. So what?
Well, but before we lay into him, let's just reiterate. This is
I'm gonna lay on him.
This is our biggest fan, and we hope he continues commenting on all the other future podcasts.
That is an absolute insult to Dawn of Comics. Dawn of Comics is the biggest fan. He's been there since episode 1. This person has been there since episode 99, and it keeps commenting, "Hey, great episode, but get back on that couch." And
all right. Second biggest fan.
it's like,
Okay, third biggest fan.
look, I'm happy that you enjoy the episodes, but give us a reason why we need to be on the couch, because it's left up to this like elusive, like get on the couch, and it's just a demand, really. It's just, hey, good episode, sit down on the couch.
Get back on that damn couch.
Get back on the couch.
Get back to the couch, slaves.
And so I'm starting to like think about what is the reason? Is this guy a pervert and there's just something? Lauren, have the episodes where you've been on the couch, has there been any like upskirt? Like, is there some kind of weird thing where he's
Lauren,
like,
I got a test. So you know how you can check people's viewership rates and see when they move forward or skip back or
yeah.
yeah. So Lauren, I want you to sit like this and then do this and see if people skip ahead or if they go back and watch it over and over.
I'll check the trends and see if anybody skipped when you did it just now.
I bet it's good. That's going to be the most watched moment.
It's good. It has the spike
Yeah.
of the most watched moment.
Hey, man, whenever I see that spike, I get a spike.
Well, Flicks VBN, if this is what gets you off, if this is what gets your rocks off us on this couch, then I guess we're going to give you what you want this time around.
Yeah.
But
Does he not like the studio?
I guess not, or something. I don't know. I don't understand. He did that on both the studio episode that we did the live stream on and when we were over here by the bookshelf. So I don't fucking know. He's like, get back on the couch so I can look at your wife's feet. That's what I'm going to assume.
That might be it.
That's what I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
Flicks VBN, thank you so much for checking out Working Crass Podcast and being a fan. You pervert.
You pervert!
You pervert.
Working Crass Podcast. Our fans are perverts.
Yeah, that's probably
And
true.
we support that. We like that.
And we're behind it.
His name is Flicks VBN. It's almost Flicks Bean. I
Yeah.
don't know. Fucking, that was a
Flicks
stretch.
V Bean.
Flicks v Bean.
Yeah, maybe he's like a.
It's like Floyd v Mayweather. It's like Flicks v Bean.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yes.
It's nothing like that. Well, we have to come back, and this is another thing I gotta address the fans before we even start to get into things here, guys. We're on a hiatus right now, okay? We're trying to take a break from this podcast so that we can rework some things and make them work a lot better, and also just kind of like figure out, hey, what is it those first 100 episodes that we did that worked really well? What is it that didn't work very well? And then kind of readjust and go along from there. That being said,
one person suggested
the couch.
The couch is the main thing.
That's the only, and keep in mind we don't get much comments, so that's the only feedback we've received on the setting of the podcast.
More couch.
It is a nice couch.
It's a good couch.
What if each episode our couch gets bigger and bigger and bigger?
It's just a big, long couch.
A big, tall couch, a big, wide couch.
I did say I would like to find out like a way to kind of incorporate this couch into what we have over here, but I don't know how I could do that.
I think you could pick it up and move it.
Well, that would be a good idea.
We just start.
But then every episode of the podcast, I'm rearranging furniture in my apartment.
It's just a couch.
But it's also the setup of all the podcast stuff, plus moving a couch. It's so much stuff. If I could minimize completely the process for setting up for the podcast so that it takes us absolutely zero time to just sit down, press record, and go, that would be ideal. That's why I'm going to try to get like a Zoom recorder. These are the things that we're trying to revamp. Let me get back on topic here.
Joshua,
we're on a hiatus. Shut up. Shut up. No. I'm in the middle of a point. Lauren.
Will you shut up?
Don't worry. I got her.
Thank you.
So
Hell yeah.
we're in the middle of a hiatus. Now, here's how you should think about this. But guys, you're posting. You just posted an episode last week. Now you're posting one this week. How is that a hiatus? We are so generous to our fans that we are putting out episodes during a hiatus. Who else does that? Who else has ever put out an episode during their hiatus?
I can only think of one person.
Us.
Manny Pacquiao.
You're just... We didn't ask you to think of a person.
Well, he was on a hiatus, and then he started fighting again. No, keep her off.
Okay, look. So I just wanted to explain that if more episodes don't come out after this one, it's because we wanted to make sure we got one in for the election, because that's what the topic of this episode is the election. The election is happening this week, and it's the most horrible time of the year. It's literally the worst time of the year. I hate the election. Everyone gets stupider, do they not? Do all of the arguments not get stupider?
They do.
Every time you go look on the internet, does everyone not just sound much, much, much dumber? And all of the arguments get about just stupid stuff that happens. Every little thing becomes a story. Then everyone has a dumb opinion about the story. And yes, that does happen all the time. But right around the election is when it gets horrible. Like just ridiculous.
I haven't seen that much, if I'm being real.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, actually. Maybe they're trying to get me to not vote.
Yeah, no.
They're like, he white, he a man. Can't have him be voting.
I just feel like it's nonstop. Like, let's start with the Tony Hinchcliffe stuff.
Yeah,
because I feel like
I feel like everybody's covered this.
Who gives a shit? That's what we do on the podcast.
Turn her off.
Turn her off. You're off again. I feel like almost everyone has been mad.
I've been talked about too much already.
Who gives a shit? That's what podcasts are. They all talk about the same shit. You're staying off.
Okay. What's a better topic, Lauren?
Yeah, go
flags?
ahead. Yeah.
You want to talk about flags?
Okay, we can't yell the whole beginning of the podcast, or they'll turn it off.
She just wants to talk about flags and capitals. That's all she wants to talk about, and not the letters.
What? Oh, capital. Okay.
It's a recurring bit now.
Okay. We're talking about the Hinchcliffe stuff, okay? Because this is an example of crazy thing. I should not be talking about Tony Hinchcliffe when it comes to the election. There should be no relation to the two things. If you told me 10 years ago, or no, if you told me 4 years ago, if you told me 2 weeks ago, hey, the election's going to hinge on stuff that Tony Hinchcliffe said in jokes, mm-hmm. I would laugh in your face and say that's not true. That's impossible. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. That's absolutely insane. Tony Hinchcliffe, the gay guy who hosts Kill Tony.
Yeah.
But it's like, look.
It is crazy. It does blow my mind.
It is nuts. It's wild. And there's no reason. Okay, but there's a bunch of stupid arguments. Okay, it's like one is nothing he said is funny, and it's never been funny, and that guy's never been funny, and he's a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's that. Let's just throw that. That's a ridiculous argument. He's been funny plenty of times. There's plenty of examples. This was all. Everyone said Tony Hinchcliffe is unfunny before he did that roast of Tom Brady, and then he did it, and everyone said actually that the guy is pretty funny. And then this happened, and he performed at a Trump rally, and they go actually he's never been funny. I changed my mind twice now actually.
So maybe we should just say sometimes he's funny, sometimes he's it's up to your taste. if
Oh,
you
so
think
like a
he's funny.
comedian.
Yeah.
So like any comedian ever. Sometimes he's funny, sometimes he fails.
Yeah.
But we give comedians
Great
the
insight,
freedom-
Lauren.
You're welcome.
No, that's a good insight. That is a great insight. That is a great insight. You're correct.
Turn me off.
But I guess the core of this thing is it's not about Tony Hinchcliffe, right? It's that
It's about how Tony Hinchcliffe can influence Trump's Halloween costume. That's the important thing here.
I mean, that's funny, but that's
Yeah.
that's not entirely it either. The anger about Tony Hinchcliffe doesn't come from the joke that he said, right? The Puerto Rico joke was whatever. It's a tame joke. Like, there's plenty of joke. He went after plenty of people, and that's what he does. It's weird that a political campaign hired a roast comedian to
Yeah,
open it up. It's
for sure.
strange. And of all comedians in the world to pick Tony Hinchcliffe, who loves to press buttons and start controversies, but it also might not be a bad idea for Trump's campaign. He just went on a bunch of comedians podcasts and got a really positive response from that. Then he did that dinner where he did a bunch of roast jokes and got a really good response from that. So they said, hey, why don't we just have a roast comedian up? That maybe that'll continue the good response we've been getting. And it didn't. It was like a bad idea for them. And I get that. No one's mad because of that. They're mad because you're a right-wing rally. You're not allowed to have comedy. We have comedy. That's what the argument is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're not allowed to laugh because you're the fascist Nazi rally. If you're laughing at the fascist Nazi rally, that means that everyone there is a human being capable of laughing. That's not good. We cannot have comedians. We cannot have people laughing at a Trump rally. That's even comedians who are getting on Tony Hinchcliffe's thing. They're like, hey, you know what? He told a bad joke. If that happens at a comedy club, that's fine, but it can't happen at a rally. And I've seen that argument so many times from like other comedians of like, you know what? Fine. A comedian can do any topic in a comedy club, but he was at a rally, and at a rally, everything is a public statement. I'm like, okay, well, what about
At a rally, no rules.
no rules?
Yeah.
Pandemonium.
But it's like, what about all of the comedians at left-leaning political rallies who have spoken and done jokes?
Yeah.
Should we go take all of those videos and go through every single one of them, take them at face value, pretend like they weren't joking, and try to criticize them for what they said literally? And like, you could find those because Dave Chappelle has performed at political rallies, so you could find things that potentially offend people. They don't believe that rallies shouldn't have comedians. They just believe that a certain side's rallies shouldn't have comedians.
Right. Yeah.
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 Because that's fun, and they shouldn't be having fun.
Yeah.
They need to be. And so, okay, that really brings me to like what's going on here. I see these two parties as we want to have fun, and then they're trying to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop them.
Yeah. It is a lot like that. I mean, the past few weeks, a lot of Trump's like publicity stunts have been absolutely hilarious, I think.
Yeah.
And fun.
Yeah.
And just straight up fun. Like the garbage truck thing.
Yeah.
So funny. Like it wasn't like literally I was on the phone with my mom and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Byron, hold on 1 second." She's watching like Fox News and like, "Trump's in a garbage man." and like, yeah, sure, like it's funny, but it like I'm not like dying now boomers dying laughing at that. But like I just think it's like good stunt on him to do that.
Yeah.
And the McDonald's thing, actually was pretty funny, pretty hilarious to look at
Yeah.
those pictures.
Oh yeah, no, we were playing a gig, we were playing music, and up on the TVs was the news, and all it was Trump putting French fries in bags, and I kept laughing through the whole song. I was laughing
Yeah.
the entire
Yeah, yeah.
time because I'm watching Trump put French fries in the French fry bags.
Yeah. The whole, like, we're just trying to have fun, and how dare you're having fun.
Yeah.
It makes me think a lot about COVID times.
Exactly.
I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
that was everybody's attitude.
Can I
when
ask-
it, like, split,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
How is it that
between
we're
the different
having
sides.
How is it that we're having an election and no one talks about COVID at all? No one talks about the history of of what these people's stances were on COVID. It's literally something that it doesn't get brought up in any
Yeah.
debate, in any fucking conversation, because both sides were pretty fucking bad on it. And it just kind of has disappeared in the thin air. And also in the 2020 election, I remember being like, we're all still locked down. And they're not talking about it much.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is, you said it right there. I mean, it's that no party can really run on it. And it sucks for people that really got like fucked by the COVID policies, because like we've never really gotten any retribution or...
Basically, the message I'm getting from both parties is like, we're not going to admit any wrongdoing during that period or time, and we're not gonna commit to doing it better the next time around, because we love the type of power that we can grab during those crises, and we can grab a whole lot of power doing that. So we're not going to stop that.
Yeah,
you're
and
not going to make us stop doing that.
And in fact, we found a way to make it worse the next time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that would actually be good.
Yeah, actually, that is fun.
We found a way to kill more people in the pandemic next time. And actually, here's why that's a good thing. That's the Guardian article.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
And here's why that's a good thing.
Here's why that's a good thing, and you should like it, and it's why we're having fun.
And simultaneously, I'm not going to pretend like there's not things about like the Trump side that I hate. I don't think Trump was good about COVID. And also, when we let's bring it back to Hinchcliffe, because that's what's important to me. Okay, him throwing him under the bus afterwards and being like, "I don't know who that is. I've never even heard of him." I'm like, he's at your rally, dude.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, I don't agree with his statements, and like I think he went a little too far. He even did at that dinner when he did those roast jokes, and he said a joke that didn't go over. He goes, "That was nasty. I told them I wasn't gonna read it, but it was nasty. But I said it anyway." And like people it's okay. Just say that. Just say like, "Hey, I don't agree with that joke. I don't think it was a great joke. Whatever." That's fine.
Yeah, he kind of threw January 6ers under the bus too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. And if I were Tony, I'd be like, man, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
For years I've been like MAGA.
Right, he has been. That's the other thing where people are like, I just don't like that he took a side. I'm like, you haven't watched anything that Tony Hinchcliffe has ever made.
You're just figuring this out?
Yeah, he picked his side a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're just better at picking up context clues than other people.
Oh, you're telling me the guy that moved from California to Texas to hang out with Joe Rogan over the pandemic and, completely went after the policies in LA the entire time is a Trump guy?
Yeah. I will say, I do think, like, to your point about things getting stupider, I personally think things are like a lot more chill this election than they've been the past couple.
There wasn't an October surprise except Tony Hinchcliffe. And
well, they tried to manufacture that into an October surprise. I think.
Sure. There was a hurricane. I thought that was going to be the October surprise. I mean, the surprise is really them trying to kill the guy
Can we
twice.
talk for 1 second about hurricane names?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, you have hurricane.
Why has there not been a Hurricane Byron?
No, well, yeah, I think there has been actually, but
I'm sure there actually has.
I am. You had Hurricane Milton. Hurricane Milton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Milton the Hurricane. Have you checked? You have a library book overdue. Like, that's what I think of when I hear Hurricane Milton. We should name hurricanes actually scary names. Like, what about this? Hurricane Sauron.
Hurricane Devastus.
Yeah. Hurricane Lucifer.
Hurricane Damien.
Hurricane Azazel.
Hurricane Vader. Like, yeah, it's so Hurricane Milton.
Hurricane Moloch.
Yes.
Yeah, there we
Yes.
Yeah.
Baphomet. Hurricane.
Hurricane Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah.
So you think all hurricanes should have demonic or
Yes.
be named after an evil figure of some sort?
Dude, I'm not evacuating for Hurricane Milton. I ain't no
But
pussy.
you would evacuate for Hurricane Hitler.
Hell yeah.
Look out, it's Hurricane Sess.
No, I want to evacuate for Hurricane Hitler. I'd move in.
Oh my
my.
God.
I'm just
Boo, he gets muted now. All right.
Okay, Hinchcliffe. We don't know this guy. We've never seen him before.
Never seen him, don't want to know him.
We've
I don't. That's my favorite. I don't know him. I don't want to know him.
And then watch like 2 weeks later, he's like doing Kill Tony.
Yeah, it will be. That will be
Yeah.
the case.
Well, I said after he did the Rogan episode, you think he's gonna be hosting Kill Tony?
I would be
He'll be
surprised if he
paneling.
won. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
They'll just have him and Adam Ray as.
We went and saw
Fun.
Stevie Wonder last night, and between every song was like, "We need to love each other. We need to be kind to each other. And there's a force of hatred coming for us this week, and we got to get out there and vote. That's the only way to stop the hatred.
There's a hurricane of hatred.
And its name is Hurricane Seselefeth."
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your earliest memory of a political like campaign or an election? Do you guys remember?
Yeah, I think it was Bob Dole versus Clinton.
Yeah.
Really, that's your earliest? I feel like mine was probably Gore Bush.
Oh my God.
Mine was before yours. Really? That's your earliest? As in,
She was surprised that
No, I was surprised that you remembered back
okay.
to that.
All right.
That's that.
Well,
she was
okay.
she was
was
complimenting.
impressed.
She was complimenting
Turn 'em
your
off,
impressive.
turn 'em off.
I'm
No,
just
no,
I'm
no.
just
No
so
one's
used
getting-
to her getting on my ass about.
You know
shit,
what?
man.
I'll turn myself off. You guys can argue.
Yeah. No, I remember my dad being like, "We're dull. We're a dull house."
We're dull.
We're doles, and we've always been doles.
And I
We're dull.
went to like my elementary school class, and I remember just being like, my family's voting Bob Dole." Bob Dole.
I guess I early on remember my folks being like, "We're a Bush family. We're Republicans. Whoever the Republican is who we vote for." And just to be clear, for this episode, for people who are just now tuning in, who are new, who the only thing you know about the podcast is what couch we fucking sit on. I haven't voted yet. I don't know. I still might. But I believe one thing and one thing only: the government should burn. So,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they are, what side they're on.
well, yeah, I'm not. I don't discriminate. I'm a very loving person. I think that the people who are part of the political class should be hung in the street. I'm sorry. I just think it's a crime to be a part of the government. I
Yeah.
say you're in a mafia. Like we have it. We're run by a mafia, and then we all vote for the mob boss every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's my take. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But I still might have to vote for someone. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of like one mob boss a little more. My two choices are don't vote for the mob boss and vote for the mob boss that you guys probably don't want me to vote for.
Yeah, you're just voting for the mob boss and who the capos are going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Woke up this morning, got some gabagool. Okay, earliest memories of elections and stuff. I remember, this is one of my earlier memories. I guess I remember my folks talking about Bush, but the earliest actual kind of political thing that I noticed was one day I was getting in the car to go to school, and my mom was dressed in all black, completely all black. And I was like, "Mom, why are you dressed in all black?" And she goes, "'Cause I'm in mourning." I was like, in mourning, what for who? Who died? Or in mourning for what? She goes, "For our country." And this was the day Barack Obama had become elected as president.
So funny.
I'm in mourning. So that's my upbringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I won't say why she was so upset that Obama was the president, but let's just say it was only one reason.
It had to do with the color she was wearing in Mourning.
All right. Let's mute Byron. That was implied.
Yeah. He gave the context clues.
All right, fair enough.
Lauren, what about you? Do you have an earliest memory of?
Well, I said that I think for me it's probably the Gore Bush race.
Yeah.
Because I do remember like people talking about it at school and like teachers talking about it.
But when's the first time like you paid attention? Like I heard people talk about it. That was the first time I actually went like,
Josh,
oh, this is an important thing to people.
Josh, I still don't pay attention.
Okay, no, that's bullshit. You pay attention. You know every fucking political story going on. You
No,
pay
I
attention.
don't.
You work in politics now. Your job is in fucking politics.
Yeah, you're a fucking dirty
No, it
lobbyist.
ain't. No, it ain't.
It fucking is. And I tell everyone, I go, my wife works in politics. They go, oh, interesting. What kind of politics? I go, she books the comedians for Trump rallies.
Yes. I said I booked the comedians and the shooters.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Oh my God.
I do have a memory.
That is a joke, CIA person listening to this podcast.
I do have a memory where like there was a period of time where I just thought like everyone in Texas was conservative, you know, I just assumed.
Yeah.
And I was riding in a car with my friend and his parents were driving us. And I was probably like in middle school. And I was like, yeah, my sister just learned to drive. I don't know, something like that. I was like, we've got some funny bumper stickers. And she's like, oh, really? What kind of bumper stickers? And I was like, liberalism is a mental disorder. And she's like, that's not cool. She's like, oh, really? That's not okay. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And I kind of got a talking to by her.
That's really funny. Man, I guess like I just didn't talk to people about politics much when I lived in Texas. And it didn't get brought up much until we started doing comedy stuff. And then it just started getting thrown in my fucking face.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all signing a thing for the governor because he, hasn't put tampons in men's bathrooms yet. And we're really waiting on that to happen. So
Yeah. I've
if we
been
could get
bleeding.
yeah, exactly. Like literally all the time, there's always like, "Hey, we're all sending mail to the vice president because we're trying to do this. We're trying to get this done. Can you sign this? Can you do this? Can you sign up for my Facebook group for this
And
this
you
cause?"
you said I will as soon as your improv group can be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do think like politics became so much. I mean, it is something. It sucks because like I don't want to sit here and like blame Trump for like the division and everything because I don't think it's like fully his fault.
Yep.
Like I really think that the media
And the deep state.
and the deep state just like are really the cause of a lot of this division.
Yeah,
and
he's
then,
just a symptom. He's not
Right.
the like cause of the thing. Right?
exactly. Yeah.
He's a reaction to how a lot of people. He wouldn't have been able to win if it wasn't a reaction to people fed up with an establishment.
right.
Now you can argue whether or not once he got in that he actually pushed back against the establishment effectively or not. That's fair.
Right.
But
yeah.
nobody else was running on like fuck the establishment other than him. And it was a great way to vote and say, here, my vote is going towards fuck the establishment. And he's against establishment. That's the thing is like if you're against establishment Republicans, like, Dick Cheney and them,
Yeah.
then how do you then go to like a Kamala rally and see her like, talk with
My best
Liz
friend,
my
Dick
best
Cheney.
friend. Yeah. It's so weird. That's so
Yeah,
strange.
it's
And then
insane.
go, that's where my vote's going because you know what? Our fucking our security, this nation's security is in danger. You're literally just like
You think they're going to be like Washington Post and Huffington Post articles about like, actually, waterboarding is good.
exactly 100%, 100%.
We should bring that back.
Actually, here 5 reasons why it was a good idea to invade Iraq.
Yeah, for real.
It's what's going to happen. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's or they'll push Iran on us. Although, like
10
Trump might do that too. That's what's like so
Sure, absolutely.
Yes.
annoying about this vote. I like.
10 reasons why we didn't find weapons of mass destruction last time, but we'll definitely find them this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like it's so transparent and clear why that's happening. It's this administration has gotten us into more wars than the Trump administration did, just like objectively, right? And and I mean, yes, they did pull out of Afghanistan, even though that was like a messy thing. I'm glad that they did do that. We should pull out.
A Trump thing.
Yeah,
you can say
that's true. But that being said, like I just it's like with things ramping up with Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Palestine and all of this talk of World War III and intervention and stuff. It's all coming from specifically one side a little more, and they've been in power the last 4 years, and they want to keep, giving the thumbs up to those. I feel like bringing Dick Cheney on stage and bringing Liz Cheney on stage is her going like, hey, BlackRock and Vanguard and all of those other like what are the weapons? Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. I'm your candidate.
It's almost like she is campaigning for.
And guess what? We're your podcast.
Yeah. It is almost like I felt this way for a while, that she's almost like campaigning, like her campaign is like geared towards like the establishment and like these like big donors in the military industrial complex more
as
than
it
anything.
Should be.
It's like
as it should be. That's the American way.
Yeah.
I want to blow shit up, okay?
Yeah.
And I believe that companies that want to blow shit up should make trillions of dollars.
That is what we need, is like some like southern kind of rednecks that like were big like war hawk people supporting Kamala, making TikToks of just like, this is my president and here's why. We gotta nuke him.
I ain't afraid of voting for a woman.
Exactly. I'm voting Kamala because I hate the muzzies too. That's exactly what's going on.
Did you guys see that the campaign ad that they put out that was like, I'm man enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Her like I don't understand her campaign. Like that's why I'd be so surprised if she actually did win.
Yeah.
Legitimately win, not like I wouldn't be surprised if she won. I want to be careful.
Do you have a favorite U.S. president of all of the presidents? Me personally, I think they should all burn. But
I have a least favorite.
Who's your least favorite? Oh God,
I'm just joking.
Barack Hussein Obama.
No, I was gonna be like Lincoln. I'm just kidding. I tend to like Lincoln quite a bit, even though, from a libertarian standpoint.
All right,
Lincoln,
Brown knows her.
Not the best.
Mute him. Do I don't know a lot about, like, I'm bad at history. I don't know anything about history. That's why I shouldn't really be talking about politics, but we need the clicks for our comedy podcast.
Yeah. I tend to actually, I quite like Jimmy Carter, but not for his presidency.
Oh yeah, for his movies. Was he in movies?
No, that was Reagan.
Damn it.
I'm gonna say Taft. Taft was my favorite because he was so fat that he had trouble fitting in the bathtub.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good story.
That just tickles me.
Yeah.
His policies were probably terrible, but
I can't even fit in the bathtub. Makes me so angry.
Give me my pudding.
I hate being the president. I can't eat all day. I'm fucking hungry all day.
I just imagined he did all his speeches with like a drumstick chicken. Just like a
My fellow Americans, I'm hungry.
And you're hungry too.
We're hungry for a war.
We're all hungry.
But I'm more hungry than you.
Oh, man. No, why'd you like Jimmy Carter? Is that who you said?
He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was a bit in over his head in terms of his presidency. Although I don't really know all that much about his presidency. I've just heard he wasn't a great president. But, like, I do know there was the Iran thing with the people in the embassy that were like hiding.
Those are the hostages.
Yeah, but they weren't hostages because they were like hiding. They were in hiding there, and like when Reagan came in, he got them out like right away. But like Jimmy Carter is just like I actually think is like a good, solid dude, and I would like a president that's like that. That's like a good, solid person.
A peanut farmer. You just want another peanut farmer.
Yeah.
A fellow peanut farmer to relate to my issues.
Yeah.
That's what I relate to. What about JFK?
I like JFK too.
From what I've read, that he's okay, but I don't really know anything. See, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I started reading his book, the courage, acts of courage, or something stupid or retarded. I couldn't even finish it because it's about history. It's so boring. History is so boring to me.
I love history.
I know. A lot of people do, and I wish I loved history. I love to listen to people who are passionate about history, but it goes in one ear and out the other. History is all about remembering, and I'm bad at remembering. I'm really bad.
My favorite president was Taylor.
My favorite president is Donald J. Trump.
No, I'll say Zachary Taylor because he only last like a week.
I don't know.
And I think that's the right amount of time for a president.
Yeah.
I'll say Henry Clay. Was he president?
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler. Now that's a president.
Every time he whacked that jukebox, I thought our country's going in the right direction.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It was Zachary Taylor, right?
I don't know.
I think he was a president.
The
Sounds
one-
familiar.
The one who like got the flu and then died after a week.
I don't know that.
Yeah. Well, if it's not him, it's somebody who's around, who was either before him or after him.
Who was the gayest president? We might have to look something up for this. We might have to look up pictures and find out. Who's the gayest.
Abraham.
They're doing the documentary.
Yeah,
on Abraham
apparently
Lincoln.
It's Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, we watched that Abraham Lincoln gay documentary, but I mean that's no more gay than Obama. Let's look up.
Fair.
Yeah, and you wanted to know who was the most gay, so that's
Does
probably
that documentary have anyone on Tucker's talking about how they sucked his dick?
Trust me, Joshua, if they were alive to talk about it, they would.
Pictures of every U.S. president, and we're gonna find out. Maybe we should rate the top hottest presidents.
I'm down to do
Who are the
that.
hottest ones? Except we're not. Lauren, you would have to do it because you're straight. We're not gay, so we have to just pick the gay ones. But when we say gay, what we mean, dude, is the hottest.
Is hottest.
The ones we would fuck, dude. Let's take a look here. Here are the United States presidents. I already know who I think is the hottest.
I think you gotta zoom in.
There's my boy right there.
There's my boy.
Let's see here. I'm just joking, by the way, folks. All right. Let's start with the first 16 here. We're looking at the top 2 rows. Of these 2 rows, do we see anyone that stands out as particularly handsome? Franklin Pierce is a dashing fellow. He looks young.
Yeah.
He looks
kind of
younger.
looks like me.
No, I'm just joking. Actually, when you have your face shaved, yeah, he kind of does look a little like you. So I changed my mind. Not hot. But Lauren, what do you think? Top 2 rows. Franklin Pierce has got my vote. He just looks the youngest. We're looking for twink-like, okay? We're looking for gay twink.
I don't know. James Buchanan's got a little twinkle in his eye, like he's like,
That's hot. Look at that guy. James Buchanan.
Yeah.
Look at that. He has jowls. What are you talking about?
Those are hot jowls.
He's got eyes in different locations on his head.
Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson is distinguished. His hair looks good.
Yeah.
He's got a tall, long face.
Andrew Jackson was
I'm thinking Martin Van Buren.
pretty badass, I would say.
Okay, if you turn this whole thing into a joke, that's not even in the first 2. I said first 2 rows.
Martin Van Buren is in the first
Where? I'm
2
not
rows.
finding him. There he is.
Yeah,
He's number
There
8.
he is. I see
Number
him. I'm
8.
sorry.
Yeah.
Let's use numbers from now on.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
Maybe it was William Harrison. That's who I was thinking who died after like a week.
Huh. Okay. We gotta pick Franklin Pierce, Andrew Jackson, or Martin Van Buren.
Martin Van Buren is number one. He's obviously the hottest.
My vote is for Andrew Jackson.
Andrew
Jackson for sure. He's distinguished. He's looking. Do you disagree that Andrew Jackson's not a handsome looking guy?
Yes, I think Martin Van Buren is far superior. That's an Adonis of a man.
That's not what we asked, and you're not being funny. Andrew Jackson is the most attractive. We're trying to play a game here, and you're ruining the game. Okay, get competitive. Get in the game.
I am.
You're gonna lose the game if you pick Martin Van Buren. He can't fuck his way out of a paper bag. Andrew Jackson's gonna fuck Martin Van Buren in the ass.
See, what you don't know is what Martin Van Buren lacks on his face, he makes up for in his pants. Okay?
We're talking purely on face. We can't look in their pants right now. Who has the most handsome face?
Martin Van Buren.
All right.
Well, it's 2 against 3. It's Andrew Jackson.
2 against 3.
It's 2 against 1. Sorry. I'm an idiot. 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
All right.
You're
here's
right.
the next 2 rows.
The election does make us dumber.
This is the next 2 rows. Shut up. Mute her.
Mute that B.
We can just outvote her anyway, so she doesn't need to play. I'll keep her on mute for the game because she's not playing. The next 2 rows, 17th through 32nd.
Lawrence is probably Taft.
Yeah, exactly. Taft, he was the hottest because he couldn't fit in the bathtub. I'll say, let's see here. Calvin Coolidge looks, he's kind of scary. He looks like a serial killer.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I would not pick him.
But he looks he's the skinniest of all of them.
Yeah.
They're all kind of fat. FDR, he's older, but he looks like a distinguished.
Yeah, I like Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt. He does have that cool little eye thing there.
Can I toss mine in?
Lauren, what was that?
Can I toss mine in?
Yes.
I'm going to go with Chester Arthur.
You fucking.
Yeah.
Why do you go? Now I'm like, fuck, what does she see in me? Damn it. Do I look like these fucking
I do feel like everyone she's picked has been
tubbos.
kind of like you.
Damn it. Fuck. All right.
I just think that's a good specimen, and I'm going with that.
Well, I think Byron and I are going to go with Teddy Roosevelt. Am I right?
Teddy. Hey, think, speak softly and carry a big dick.
Is that a Teddy Roosevelt quote?
We'll carry a big stick, yeah.
I'm liking this game because we're winning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, here's the last 2 rows here, and then we're going to vote on the top 3, okay? Let's see here. Who is the most... Bill Clinton was a ladies' man, right?
Yeah, but probably JFK, dude.
JFK is like every old lady. Even Lauren, your grandma had a bust of JFK.
Yeah, she does have a bust of JFK. Well, she did. My grandma
Old
passed
people
away,
all have like paintings and busts of JFK in their homes because he was just that handsome. They all wanted to fuck him.
He was with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
It's got to be JFK.
It's got to be JFK. All right, so here we go. This is the toss-up. It's JFK versus Teddy Roosevelt versus Andrew Jackson. The top 3.
Probably JFK, dude. I know it's like a better picture because it's actually a picture and not a dumb painting.
Yeah.
But probably JFK.
I might vote Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson is number 2 for me for sure.
I'm voting Roosevelt.
Of course. Of course you would.
Well, I guess there's no
winner.
No winner in this game. Well, that went well.
Yep.
That's hilarious. Well, at least we know who each other would pick. Like we were like in lockstep with each other's decisions all the way until the final moment. Well, we were in lockstep. Lauren is playing a different game of her own where she picks the ugliest person she can find on the page because she finds it funny.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Joshua.
Oh, man. Ultimately, it doesn't.
Dude, we could look at first ladies.
Dude!
Now, Lauren, you can...
Hey, let's mute Lauren for this part.
Yeah, we don't need to hear her opinion.
I don't want to know this lady's opinion on the ladies. images. It's gonna be Melania though. Melania's the only first lady with nudes
She's
out there.
pretty hot. Wait, she has nudes?
Of course she does.
She got an OnlyFans?
No, she doesn't have an OnlyFans. She just has like old like Playboy style images.
Yeah,
Pictures of
like I
first
remember that.
ladies.
When we were on the train the other day, there was this guy, and he was
Not the other day, last night.
Yeah,
in
last
the middle
night.
of the night, around 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
We get on the green line. On the green line, there's a guy sitting on there, and when we walk by to get to our seats, he's watching porn on his phone. Like, I don't know. Just porn, just watching porn.
Yeah, you couldn't identify the specific.
I saw porn on his phone, and then we go sit down.
That's not the crazy thing.
We're
Here's
the only
crazy
ones
thing.
in there too, so I'm kind of like, it's kind of weird. It's like kind of an older looking dude, and watching porn on his phone. Then we go sit down, and we just start hearing, oh yeah, like literally like sounds from the porn. He's watching porn on the train, full volume.
That is crazy, dude. That is crazy.
Just sitting there like, oh.
Yeah, he was looking
He's
at
kinda
it,
like
like
nodding, like,
examining, like
That's where it goes.
Oh, so you gape the ass. Oh.
yeah.
All right, here's some first ladies. God damn, this is going to be fun.
Oh, Dolly.
Why
Hello,
does
Dolly.
Ida McKinley get the big... She's the 25th first lady. Why does she get the biggest one here?
Because she's the hottest.
Did she get chosen as the hottest?
She was chosen as the hottest.
Well, basically, this newspaper got to go around and fuck the hottest, and then she got the biggest picture.
I'm going to go with Dolly Madison.
Ooh, what number is she?
She's number 4.
Number 4, Dolly Madison. What is this? Emily
got
Donaldson, and then 7.1, Sarah Jackson. What? She was the niece of Andrew Jackson, and then the daughter-in-law of Andrew Jackson. Was he not?
Wait, did he marry them? No, maybe he was single. That kind of raises his...
So if you're single, you have a family member come in as the... Yeah,
Maybe.
Benjamin Harrison had his daughter. Dude, nice.
Nice, dude.
Wow. I don't know, man.
Rose Cleveland. That's my
Rose Cleveland?
That's my vote.
Where's she at? What
Where?
number?
Number 22.
22.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Sister of Grover Cleveland.
Frances Cleveland looks okay.
Where's Francis at? Oh, yeah, literally right there. Frances Cleveland's looking good. What about Grace Coolidge?
She looks good.
Yeah, but the image is kind of squashed, or she has
Yeah.
a squashed face.
Yeah.
That's what Eleanor Roosevelt looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. What about Jackie Kennedy? Now, there you go.
She cute.
She's classy.
She's classy.
She's
She's a class act.
Cutie patootie.
Why do they have a man on here?
I was going to make a very similar joke.
Although Barbara Bush is a little mannish.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's that dime?
Where?
Oh, Hillary? Ugh.
I know. Hillary's picture looks
She looked
way
okay
better
when she was younger.
when she was younger. I mean, she had to for Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was a ladies' man.
Mm-hmm.
And then she really went downhill.
Yeah. Probably,
Is what we're doing sexist?
for sure.
Oh, but it wasn't when we were rating the
Yeah.
men.
Oh, so we-
so all of a sudden,
Oh.
no, it's not sexist. We did the men and the women. We did them equally.
So it's egalitarian.
I don't know what that means, but yeah,
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
We're gender egalitarians here.
exactly.
Exactly.
But
We
you,
don't discriminate in our ratings.
well, you could have put that together. Why'd you have to say it out loud then?
I just want.
You put the idea of sexist into people's minds who are watching this. Nobody thought this was sexist. And then you said, is this sexist? And then 10 people went, actually, maybe it is. And now we sound like we're having to defend it. This is like in a comedy club where like a comedian says something and then one person goes, oh, and then everyone's like, oh, I guess it was kind of bad, when they could have just laughed and it wouldn't have been bad. No one thought it was bad to begin with. You know what I'm saying? It's like when someone goes, ooh, and then other people who are easily susceptible kind of go, ooh, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
actually, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with me talking about Dolly Madison's rack.
Yeah.
All right?
This isn't sexist at all. We're just talking about what ladies we want to fuck.
You had your chance and you chose the Uggos.
Yeah, that's right.
You could have been like, his dick is probably real nice.
I don't know what you're talking about. I chose the most handsome.
Okay.
The most basically just I picked what caught my eye.
Let's wrap up this section of the podcast here, because it's clear that we called it from before we even pulled up the photos. Melania Trump for sure, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
Melania Trump.
Jackie Kennedy is pretty.
Tie?
We'll tie.
We'll tie.
We can tie.
Dude.
Yeah.
And Rose Cleveland.
Dude. Let's vote her out.
Yeah, vote her off the ship, man.
Let's vote on who gets to leave the podcast. Byron, your vote?
Lauren.
My vote, Lauren. Lauren, your vote?
My vote, Lauren.
Good. All right. Unanimous.
Unanimous vote. She stays and we go. Oh, man. Look, ultimately, it doesn't matter who the president is, because regardless,
we're going to jerk off to their first lady or first man.
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm jerking off.
And we're going to watch it. We're going to watch a video of them on the train out loud.
You know, the election's coming. Fuck, I bought those fucking I voted stickers. I was going to put them all over us for the podcast. It'd be funny to wear a bunch of I voted stickers for our election episode. I didn't fucking do it before we started. Now I bought a roll of I voted stickers for nothing. We should go to the fucking like ICE center or whatever and hand them out to people. Like, here's your I voted sticker. I give them to like homeless people on the
migrants.
street. Yeah, exactly. Go find some like migrant center.
Have them all put them on and then take like a video of it and be like, and send it to James O'Keefe.
Make lots of money.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Look at this.
Look at all these immigrants with I voted stickers. But ultimately it doesn't. When we meet people in person, what's true about like when you not on the internet, not talking to people on the internet, talking to people in person, generally they're kind to each other, regardless of who they vote for. They care about each other. They care about their families, their friends, and they care about everyone's best interest. And they usually have everyone else's best interest at heart, generally. When you look at people now, they're all retarded, though. Unfortunately, everyone is retarded. And then you look at the internet, and it's a completely different story. Nobody has anything nice to say about anything. If you go to a subreddit for something that you love, everyone only on that whole subreddit, all they have to say is negative shit about that thing that you like. Is like, this episode sucked this week because this, and this. This sucks. This sucks. The thing you like sucks. This fucking sucks. It's all complain. And then you meet people in person, and they're all much more like willing to work with people, willing to talk to people. And I think it's like, it doesn't really matter. Like, those are the people. Political class, on the other hand, is who divides those people up and gets them to hate each other and plays those games with each other. That's why I don't think I'm going to vote. I don't know. I might still. But that's my whole thing about not voting, is that I just don't want to support that political class. I don't think that they do any good for the people. But I don't know. Maybe I will vote. I wouldn't tell people on the internet, though, if I did or didn't. So I guess you'll never know. But now you will, because I'll tell you right now. I'm just joking. I'm voting for Donald J. I just want to go somewhere and shout that. I just think that's so funny. I want to do... I would love to like be the tech for like a comedy show or something. And someone brings up politics and from the tech booth, not involved in the show at all. Just someone goes, "I'm voting for Donald J. Trump," and just get people in the audience like, "What the fuck is happening?"
No, I've said for a long time, like, I was like, I think most people actually have a very similar goals in terms of like the country and
people have more in common with each other.
Very similar goals. It's just like sometimes the way to reach those goals is they have different methods and policies that they support and in order to reach those goals. And so it's very frustrating, especially someone that's a little bit more right-leaning, to be like kind of lambasted as this like terrible person. And I'm like, no, I like actually agree with a lot of your goals, most of them. And I just don't think that your method of reaching those goals is like smart or good or the right way to do it.
Yeah.
And so we're arguing over like technicalities or the technical way we go about these things instead of, but we're treating it as if our goals are completely different.
Right.
And one side's goals are like evil and the other side's goals are good.
And neither side is talking about how we should name hurricanes after demonic forces.
Right.
Not a single side has brought that up,
Nope.
and that's kind of more important than who gets money.
I'm a single issue voter, man.
All that is fine and dandy, but let's just be honest. There's at least one side who wants to remove a woman's right to fill her nasty cunt with as much cum as she physically possibly can. I'm sorry. We've already been through our abortion thing on this podcast. I won't go through the abortion thing again. But that is, I truly, I'll never understand why it always, like, for some people, that's the single issue for your vote is I gotta be able to get rid of these fucking babies.
Yeah.
Is there not something just a little ridiculous about that? That like you're a single issue voter and your one thing is like, look, I can't control when I get pregnant. I need this as a fucking option.
I'll vote.
I need this.
Yeah. I'll vote for, a war hawk candidate.
Exactly.
It's going to promote a war in another country and killing their babies.
Right.
They're living babies.
Right.
Oh, well.
I don't care what you do in Israel, what you do in Palestine, or what you do in the Ukraine. I got 5 babies in me. I got to get them out. I don't know how they got in there. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I fill up my cunt with cum every night of the week. And I don't do anything about it. Sure, fine, I'll give you that. But I got to get rid of them now. That's my single issue.
I was hanging out with my mom and some of my family.
At an abortion clinic?
No, but someone in my family was talking about how at the DNC, my mom was like, they have like an abortion truck
the
or
truck
something.
that was outside, yeah.
And it is kind of mind-blowing to me because this other person was like, that's not true. And like...
Yes, it is true.
And part of me was like, I didn't want to start anything, but I was like, it is, dude.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Well, maybe that's not true. Maybe I've been misled. And I had to like go up to her afterwards and be like, Mom, it is true.
Mom, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
Mom, you fucking rule.
That's exactly what happened to my mom when she was in mourning for Barack Obama. Is people were very angry with her, but I was like, Mom, I got you.
I got your back, Mama.
I'm just joking. No one was up in arms. I think she only told me, but she did dress in all black. I'll never forget that.
That's really funny.
It's wild.
No, I think it's a good political strategy for longevity to set up an abortion booth at your campaign event.
Yeah.
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 I think that's a really
that's a good strategy for more votes.
Yeah, sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Have we completely out of steam on the election? Can we talk about past elections? Oh man, have you ever been elected as like a school board member or anything like that, or like a school? I'm sorry, what was it called? Not school board. When you're like in the
student council.
Student council. Did any of you guys ever do that?
Yeah, I ran. I have a couple stories about this. One, I ran in elementary school for, I think, secretary in like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And I had a great slogan.
Yeah. Get the Jews out of our school.
Yeah. Yeah. You will not replace us. Yeah. No, it was listen to the siren, vote for Byron.
Oh, that's right.
We've
heard this. Yeah.
Before.
That's funny.
And then oh shit, that's my parking. And then in high school, I ran for like an office for National Honor Society, and I lost, and I had people that came up to me and were like, "We voted against you just because we thought it'd be funny." I'm like, fucking hell. And then and on orchestra, I think I've told this story too, so I won't go too crazy into it. But I ran for president in orchestra my senior year.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny. I was like Trump.
Yeah.
I was Trump.
Yeah.
I was the anti-establishment candidate, like propped up.
We got to get rid of the school board. We got to get rid of the band director.
Well, yeah, she was not a fan of me.
Yeah.
And like the people that voted for me were not a fan of her.
Wow.
And I was kind of like, and the way it worked is like the president, whoever got the second most votes for presidents was vice president.
And people accused you of being a Russian spy for 2 years,
Yeah,
4
dude.
years,
Yeah,
3
they're
years,
like-
however many years.
You're a Suzuki spy. You're a band spy. And I know the guy that counted the votes is the president from the previous year, I guess.
Yeah.
And he said, "Is like, yeah, you got the second most votes. I didn't really want to win. I just wanted to be vice president because my friend was running for president. I really liked him, and he deserved it.
Yeah.
But the person who got vice president got like 7 votes. Everyone hated her,
Yeah.
and she was such a suck up too. Like she would like eat lunch with the director and everything.
Damn.
It's really annoying. But like this campaign was like, man, I was doing rallies every night, you know.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Tony Hinchcliffe came and gave a speech and did
Yeah.
a roasting. It was a pretty brutal campaign I ran.
Yeah.
And stolen election, you know.
I did. That is true. That was an actual. It seems like an actual stolen election.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren, did you ever do student council or anything like that?
Nope.
I had a feeling you didn't. You don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like. We're not big on like school spirit or anything with groups. Anytime people get together in a group, we go.
I also never voted for anybody in student council.
Same.
Anytime they did those things, I didn't participate. I just went on with my day.
Last night, we went to that Stevie Wonder show, and who was it? Reverend what?
Jesse Jackson.
Reverend Jesse Jackson. Is that really his name?
Mm-hmm.
Was there at the show or whatever, and he had everybody stand for him, and Lauren goes, "We're not standing for that crook."
Oh, wow.
I did student council in 5th grade. My parents, the big thing was like, it's going to look good on your,
College
application.
resume.
Yeah, your
So
applications for college and all that kind of stuff. I sign up for it. I don't really know what it is. And the teacher who's leading the student council or whatever comes in and goes, "Okay, kids, welcome to student council." Was like,
Oh, my God.
this was like, I mean, it had to have been in the 90s, maybe in the early 2000s. And I remember like going home and telling my parents like, "Yeah, he's really gay or whatever." And they thought it was so funny that the teacher was gay. You would think that in the Texas school system that my parents would have been, and my mom, knowing what we know of her now on this podcast, they would have been like, "We need to pull you out of that school. A teacher can't be gay." If you told somebody in Chicago that there was a gay teacher in Texas, they go, "Oh, so they like hung them outside of the school or something?" No.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents thought that was hilarious. They were like, "Oh my gosh, we have to go see your gay teacher." They're like, "That's awesome." But yeah, I ended up quitting, and my reason why was because I actually was very annoyed by that teacher, and it wasn't the gayness; it was just the
peppiness.
Yes, it was the okay. Now we're gonna do this. It's like, okay, now we're all gonna vote for it. What do you want to vote for? I was like, Jesus, get me out of here. And I did show choir. And I stayed in show choir. I couldn't stand that teacher.
No, I was too busy serving my teen court community service hours to be involved in student council.
Why? What'd you get in trouble for?
Because I got in an accident going to school one day. It was like a week after I got my license, and I got T-boned by somebody, but I was so new to driving, and I just assumed it was my fault, so I told the traffic cop it was my fault.
See, she went to a school. She went to a school with mostly Asian people, and so she grew up around a lot of Asian people. And that's how she ended up driving.
That's how she learned to drive.
Yeah. But I panicked, and because I was so new, I just was like, it's probably my fault. And then the guy wrote me a ticket, and then they had a thing where it was like, you could either pay the full price of the ticket, or you could opt to try your case through teen court and get like instead of having to pay the ticket, you do a certain like number of community whatever the teen court rules that you have to do at the end of
Sounds like a reality TV show. Teen court.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
where the teens decide.
Yeah. Let the teens decide.
I spit in the teacher's face, and the judge is like, I deem that awesome. Clunk.
This is just the Amanda show.
It really is. Bring out the dancing lobsters.
Yep.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I got I don't know how many hours of community service was, but it took me like a year and a half to do it all.
When I was a year before I started college and I was working at the movie theater back at home, I I was in a minivan. I won't say that if it was mine or not. I was in a minivan and with my then girlfriend and one of our mutual friends, and we had just bought a lot of cannabis, legal cannabis, but in Texas not quite legal. And I had never like bought that much. It was kind of like a bigger quantity or whatever. And we park in like this cul-de-sac, and it's night, and we see the kind of these headlights in the distance, and they kind of come closer, and we're like, hey, maybe we should leave. It seems like someone's coming. And then the fucking cop lights turn on, and it pulls into the cul-de-sac, and then like 8 more like cop cars all pull into the fucking cul-de-sac. The minivan is filled with like pot smoke. And, of course, like, I roll down the window to talk to the police officer, and smoke is billowing out of the car. And so they smell it, and they get us all out, and we all sit on, like, the curb or whatever. And the guy was, the cop that talked to us was very much like, you guys really shouldn't be getting into this. You don't know, like, what these Mexican cartels do to, like, fucking get this stuff over here and how many people they kill, and you paying money for this is, like, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, we bought it from a guy who drove to California or drove to Colorado or something where it was legal and bought it. Like, it's not like we bought it from a Mexican cartel, but whatever. And he's like, what would your parents think about this, blah, blah, blah. They would be so ashamed. And the girl I was dating at the time goes, my dad wouldn't care. My dad would actually not care at all, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up.
God, mute her.
I know. Right? And so then I just remember like day after day working at that movie theater going like, this is going to go on my permanent record. I'm going to try to apply for jobs to be like a music teacher, which is what I was doing then. And they're going to see this, and I'm going to be fucked. I'm going to be screwed. I have a drug charge. I'll never get a job. Like I just finished 4 years of college, and now this is going to happen to me. Fuck, my life is fucked. And I end up getting it like, completely taken care of, and it's not that big of a deal. Like you go to the court, you go to your date, you pay the fee, you apologize or whatever, and then it's fine. And when I go to the court, the judge goes, you really should not be hanging around with these women. These women are a bad influence on you. And I go, sir, I promise you I will not hang out with them anymore. I did for a little while longer, and then now I no longer talk to them, so it is what it is. My dad wouldn't be mad at me. He would be fine. He'd be totally fine if I got arrested for smoking weed.
Oh my gosh! Like that's
shut up.
Why?
Yeah, just say yes, sir, no, sir, and like just fucking let's get through this.
There's so many videos of like women doing that kind of thing, and just like, and I'm like, oh my. And to be fair, there's also videos of guys doing it too. Mm-hmm. But like, just this like,
was that sexist?
Yeah. I honestly see more. I do see more like women things like that too. Yeah. And I think it's just because like there's no.
Yeah, I see a lot of videos of women being bitches too.
I just think that I do think it has to do with like women could be like are almost allowed to be more defiant in those in those kind of situations.
They don't pose a physical threat.
Right, because and there's not much of a physical threat posed towards them. Like I think the way a cop would handle something like if you're a guy that's defiant against a cop, you're going to be treated much more rough physically than a woman. And I mean, and the crazy thing is like cops will be physically rough with a woman too,
Right.
But they really have to push the buttons a lot.
Those like body cam videos of like drunk white girls.
Oh yeah.
If there was body cam footage of a like black male acting the way those drunk white girls act, it would be a completely different story.
Right.
They definitely get completely different treatment for sure. But it's like for women, I guess they just don't feel as threatened, and that makes sense. But it's also like they get away with a lot more. They can really get wild.
Yeah, they just hand you a ticket and don't do any investigation.
Right. that
Even
is
though
true.
you got T-boned.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, also to be fair though, that women can act as crazy as they want, then just blow the cop to get out of the ticket.
True.
I don't get that as an option
That's not an option.
unless
for
I'm
me
in
either.
Chicago where all the cops are gay.
Gay Cop Academy.
I'm like, oh, did someone defund you? Stupid. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. I think we talked enough about the election, folks. Before we get going and we go back on our hiatus, guys. Don't get mad that we don't put out more episodes. We're on a hiatus. We, out of the kindness of our hearts, are giving you a free episode during the hiatus. Do you understand? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Are you
You fucking
stupid?
get it?
You fucking idiot.
But thank you for listening. We really love you.
Yeah.
Thanks Flix VBN for getting us on the couch. We did it for you.
What did we learn?
Today, this was my next question. Thank you, Lauren. So we do have to figure out what we learned today. Byron, what'd you learn today?
I learned I have a lot more fun on this podcast when Lauren is muted.
That's mean, and I'm going to mute you. What? Lauren, what about you? What'd you learn?
I learned that I have a lot more fun on this podcast when I'm muted.
All right, I'll mute Lauren as well. And now the podcast suddenly sounds like what I've been trying to get it to sound like for so long. I've been working a long time on this podcast, and I think something about the sound is exactly what I wanted it to sound like now. This is pretty nice. What did I learn today? Well, that's a good question, Joshua. What did you learn today? Well, I learned that there's a guy out there who just discovered a new podcast. His name is Flix VBN. And then suddenly he started taking a look at my wife's feet. And suddenly he started getting a little hard. And suddenly he felt a little tingle in his downstairs area. He started to touch himself. And then he had the fucking gall to write out comments telling, get back on that couch, man. I got a splooge, bro. Like, get back on that couch. I'm full. I got a nut, man. And to that I say, hey, we did it. Stop. You're not on the mic. You're both muted. Please. This podcast is going very well right now, okay? Please don't ruin it. Anyway, to my fellow listeners out there, I really appreciate you guys. I love you very much. Thanks for listening to Working Crass Podcast. I'll be back next week. These guys are on a hiatus. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
And I just want to say one more.